students, welcome to Srimata IAS and KAS Academy Vijaypura. Today we had brought up one more topic from the subject of geography. I am your faculty Vidya M. So today's topic is regarding interior of the earth. Before letting know anything regarding the interior of the earth, I would like to tell that regarding the landscape. What is landscape? Landscape is nothing but a different kind of a lands present on the surface of the earth. What types of lands? There might be the plain lands which are present on it. There might be the mountains which are present on it. There might be even the plateaus which are formed on the surface of the earth. These are different kind of lands formed on surface of the earth, and that we refer it as a landscape. And these landscape are largely product of the processes which are operating on the earth. What is these processes? These processes are largely responsible for formation of the landscapes. It means these processes are responsible for forming a mountain or a plain lands, or might be the plateau. Right? What are these processes then? These are nothing but your endogenic and exogenic processes. What is endogenic process? Endogenic process is process which is operating in interior of the earth. Interior of the earth, which are responsible for the building processes. It means the endogenic processes build the landforms which you are seeing on the surface of the earth. Now coming to the exogenic processes, these are nothing but outer processes which are acting on the surface of the earth, and these outer part processes, they are largely responsible for eroding the landforms which was built by the endogenic processes. It means it is a continuous process. It is not stops anywhere, but it happens, and it is happening from millions of years together, and both of the processes are operating together to form a different kind of a landforms, also erode the different kind of a landforms already formed by the endogenic processes. And there again, the interior part of the earth, if you come to that, these earth is composed of layers. It means the materials which are present in the interior part of the earth are in the layer format. Fine. And next, where from we get to know regarding what are the materials present in inside of the earth, that is by observing and estimation and analysis done by the geographers. There are some of the sources which tells directly by observing them, and we do not get to know by the observations. Those materials are again estimated by the geographers. And what are these? These we call as sources. And what kind of a sources? There are two types of sources present, that is direct source and indirect source. Direct source through the observation, indirect sources the analysis is made on whatever the information we get to know by studying the indirect sources. So what are these direct sources and indirect sources? The direct source example is rocks. There are different kind of rocks are present in the interior part of the earth, which are easily available, as there are metamorphic rocks, sedimentary rocks. These different kind of rocks are formed on the surface of the on the nearest to the surface of the earth. So we studied them, and these are the direct sources. Next is the minerals which are present. For example, the iron, which is again most important one of the mineral. Along with it, mineral like natural gas you can take as example. Other than that, petroleum products. Other than that, different kind of minerals like iron, like magnesium. Similarly, silver. Different kind of minerals. There are thousands of minerals which are present on the earth, and these are the direct sources which tells regarding what present in the interior of the earth. Next is volcanic eruption. One easy example of volcanic eruption is your Deccan Plateau, which is present in India, in the southern part of India. And this Deccan Plateau is result of volcanic eruption which took a place long ago. So these are some of the direct sources which are telling regarding what present in the interior part of the earth. What is indirect sources? Indirect sources studying regarding the temperature in the interior part of the earth, we get to know some of the materials which are present on it. If you take a temperature as example, temperature goes on increasing. So temperature usually goes on increasing as we move from crust to the core. Fine. If there is a crust present on the near to the surface of the earth, there exists a core point, that is in innermost part of the earth. From crust to core, if you move from this direction, then there is usually increase in the temperature you witness. And what is the degree Celsius of increase in the temperature as we move from crust to core? That is every 32 meters there increase of 1 degree Celsius temperature you witness. It means if you go to the 500 meters usually, then there has to be a 15 degree Celsius increase in the temperature. Like that, if you move beyond, that is 1 kilometer of distance, if you move from crust to the core, then there is an increase of temperature near to 30 degrees Celsius. It means the temperature is going on increasing. So as we get to know regarding the increase in temperature, that is from the indirect source. And one more is the pressure. Pressure is also similarly increases as temperature increases. Why there is increase in the temperature? As there is a materials which are present on it, it increases the load. Due to that reason, pressure increases. Again, differences in the temperature, that also leads to the difference in the pressures in the interior part of the earth. One more indirect source is density. As we move from the crust to core, as temperature increases, like that density also increases from crust to core. Now next, one more indirect source is regarding earthquake. Whenever earthquake happens, the waves which are traveling, they travels to different medium, and we get to know that what kind of materials are present. Earthquake, I am going to take a deeper lesson regarding the seismic activity and what happens, what all are the features acting on it, and how we get to know regarding what materials are present. Please wait for my one more lesson which tells regarding the earthquake. There we are going to learn regarding how this becomes an indirect source and how it helps immensely to understand the materials what are present inside of earth. Next is meteors. Meteors are nothing but the rocks. Why do we call them as meteors then? Because as they are present in the space, not on the interior part of the earth or surface of the earth. Meteors are the rocks which are revolving around the sun in the manner the planets revolving, and these meteors are not able to become a part of the planets. Due to that reason, they remain the rocks and revolving in the sun, around the sun. And sometimes these meteors falls on the surface of the earth. Whenever the falling of a meteor takes place, geographers take these meteors and study intensively, analyze, and by analyzing they had got to know that the rocks which are present on the surface of the interior part of the earth, similarities present even in the meteors too. Means this is also one of the indirect source which we are getting to know. One more indirect source is your gravitational force and magnetic field. Magnetic field. Seismic activity is nothing but your earthquake which happens, and we'll get to know regarding it later period of time. Let's see some information regarding the gravitational force. There exists a gravitational force in interior part of the earth, and earth is not totally round in a shape, but instead you can see that there is a bulge near the equatorial region, that is near the 0 degree Celsius. There is a equator. Usually the gravitational force is high. If you come to the equatorial region, the gravitational force is just a minute. Okay, so the gravitational force is always less. Again, if you come to from the equatorial region to the polar regions, as present in the latitude, if you move from one latitude to another latitude, these latitudinal increase from equatorial to the polar regions, there is no continuous change in the gravitational force. Instead, there is a fluctuations happen in the gravitational forces even in the latitude to latitude, even you move from the equatorial region to polar regions. And these gravitational force difference from one latitude to the another latitude, there might be presence of the strong gravitational force. In between two strong gravitational force, there might be the low gravitational force. Why there is a low gravitational force in between strong, even though we are moving from 0 degrees Celsius to the polar region? Because of the materials which are present inside of the interiors of the earth. As composition of material changes, the density variation takes a place. As density variation takes a place, gravitational force also varies. And these variations of the gravitational force from equatorial region to the polar regions, this term we refer it as gravitational anomaly. Gravitational anomaly. Change in the gravitational force from one region to another region. This term we refer it as gravitational anomaly. Fine. So this is also one of the force which is present inside of earth. If we study how much is the gravitational force at a 23.5 degrees Celsius, at a 60 degrees Celsius, as a 68 degrees Celsius, we get to know regarding what kind of a material present inside of it. So it becomes an indirect source. Like that, even there exists one more force. As I said, there exists a magnetic field in the interior part of the earth. These magnetic fields also So these magnetic sorry student, some disturbance has occurred here. So these magnetic field from equatorial region to again polar regions varies. Due to that reason also we get to know regarding there are different kind of materials which are present inside of the earth. Now let us look regarding the layers which are formed. These layers, as you are seeing, there is a crustal part, there exists a mantle portion, just after the crustal portion, then there exists a core. The innermost part of the earth we refer it as core, and just above it there is a mantle portion which exists, and just above there is a crustal portion which exists. And there is a difference of materials, composition of materials. Due to the difference in the composition of materials from one layer to another layer, we had differentiated and given a names. And what materials are present, in what format they are present, they are referred in different manner. Now let us look at the crustal part first. Crustal part is nothing but the part which exists from surface of the earth near to some distance. And what is the length covered in this crustal part? If you come to the land, that is continental landmass, the distance covered is 30 kilometers usually. And if you come to the oceanic part, the distance, if you come, then it is just a 5 kilometer in the length. It means if you mine in the oceanic part, you will reach to the upper mantle portion just after mining up to the 5 kilometers. But if you mine from the continental part, you need to dig till the 30 kilometers to reach to the upper mantle portion. And what about the mountains which are present? These are also one of the landscape which are present on it. In the mountainous regions, the distance of the crustal part from upper mantle increases, that is up to 70 kilometers on an average, the distance of a crustal portion present. And this is regarding how much the crustal portion is. Then what presents inside of the crust? Usually the solid materials are present in the crustal portion. That is your rocks, different kind of rocks are present inside of it. Along with it, what is the material which is majorly composed of it? That is silicon as a mineral voice, plus there is one more mineral which is present at the crustal part is aluminium. Students, please look at that. Aluminium is one more mineral which is present on it, and these both together crustal portion is also referred as Cl. What is Cl? Silicon and aluminium together we refer to it as Cl, and this Cl, as they are lighter, they are present, just a minute, as they are lighter, they are formed on surface of the, near to the surface of the earth. Right? What is the distance it is covered? I had explained. And now looking at the names which has been given, different names has been given to the different layers. The crustal portion, there exists a line that is from the oceanic sea level to the continental belt, and this line we refer to it as Colorado discontinuity, which exists between the upper and lower crust. Upper and lower crust means the crust which is present in the continental form and the crust which extended in the oceanic part. There exists a line between them, and that we refer to as Colorado discontinuity. Now coming to the next most layer which is present just after the crustal part, that is your mantle portion. Mantle portion, extension in the length up to the 400 kilometers if you take the length. If you take whole, both the mantle, that is inner mantle and outer mantle together, that is extend up to 2900 kilometers. This is, I had said, that varies according to where it present. It might be 5 kilometers, it might be 30 kilometers, it might be 70 kilometers based on where it is. Right? Next, if you refer to the core portion, then this is 3500 kilometers in the length. Totally from crust to the core, there exists a 6376 kilometers of a distance. How we got to know regarding there is a length of this as a 6376 kilometer? By reading the circumference from the outermost part of the earth. If you read, then you will get to know that. If you angularly get to know that there exists this much of a distance from crust to core. And one more feature I has explained, that increased from crust to core, that is temperature increases, pressure increases, also density goes on increase. Fine. Okay. Now coming to what is composed in the upper mantle portion. Upper mantle portion is nothing but the magma which is present here. Sorry, here it is. Upper mantle, the presence of magma we witness here, and this magma find a way through the crustal portion and forms a different kind of a landforms on the surface of the earth. And along with it, both the upper mantle and inner mantle together, in the material content there is a magnesium, major presence of mineral magnesium. Along with it, one more mineral which is present is silicon. So we also refer it as the upper mantle and a lower mantle together, we refer it as a magnesium and Cl together. We had given one name. I am not going to name. Instead, you need to tell in the comment section what the upper mantle and lower mantle together called, mixing these both minerals together. Right? Now, what is the distance wise coverage? I had explained. Composition, it is composed of the magma material. Inner part of the magma, if you come, then the magma is in the form of a solid state. Here it is in the magma is in the liquid state. Instead of referring to the liquid, it is in the form of a viscous. What is viscous? Viscous is nothing but in the form of a gum. We can take it as simply, it is a sticky little bit. Fine. So it is in the viscous format, whereas if you come to the inner mantle, then it is in the solid form compared to the upper mantle. Molten rocks usually erupt from the, just a minute, molten rocks usually erupt from this innermost part of the mantle portion. volcanoes, seismic activity, what all they are taken a birth in this mantle portion itself, and they find a way through the upper mantle and they reach to the surface of the earth. The reach of the surface of the earth, it might be to the continents, it might be to the mountains, and it might be to the even oceanic part. It may reach any region. Right? Now there are different names has been given to them also. What we refer to the crust, that is we refer it as a lithosphere. Right? And coming to the upper mantle and the lower mantle together, we refer it as a mesosphere. Mesosphere. If we come to the core part, then we had referred it as a barosphere. Different names has been given to them. Now coming to, as I said, lithosphere and mesosphere is present. There is one more layer which is exist, that is in the upper portion of upper mantle, and this portion we refer it as asthenosphere. Why asthenosphere? Because this is a weakest zone, weakest or weaker zone of the earth. That's why we refer it as asthenosphere. Information regarding the outer core, extension of length I had explained, and what are the materials present inside of it? That is nickel and iron is present in interior part of corest part of the earth. And how this part is differentiated? Because inner core is almost solid in a nature. But if you come to the outer core, then it is again in the liquid manner, or it is in the semi-liquid manner. What is present here? Again your magma itself, but it is in a semi-liquid format. And along with it, if you move deeper, I had already said that density goes on increases. Why increase in the density? This is an example that mineral contents which are present to the near to the earth is silicon and aluminum, which are again very lighter in the density. If you move to the innermost part of the earth, that is solid state, along with it the irons which are formed here, their density is more. Due to that reason, density goes on increasing as we move from crust to the core part. So this is one of the chapter regarding how the different layers has been formed. Yeah, one more thing I had left out is different names has been given to each of the layers. The layer which exits the crustal part and beginning of a upper mantle starts, this we referred as Mohrvik discontinuity. It is also known as Mohs discontinuity. And coming to the line which distinguish between the upper mantle and inner mantle, that we refer it as Rapidi discontinuity. And coming to the line which differentiate from mantle portion to the outer core, that we refer it as Gutenberg's discontinuity. And coming to the outer core to the inner core, that we refer it as Lehmann's discontinuity. Why there are so many names has been given to these layers? It is simple. The geographers have studied intensively. All of the names are derived from the geographers who studied these layers and given some important information regarding that layer. So we named all of these layers according to their names. These are the persons who had studied them intensively. Also given most of the information regarding these all layers. So this is regarding all of how the interior part of the earth formed in layer format, what all minerals are present. There exist again immense minerals. We cannot cover all of the minerals. I had given some of the examples. Like that, many of the minerals are present inside of it. But you need to think that whatever the upper mantle and outer mantle is present, there is a mantle is nothing but a magma which is present. It present in a different form again. So thank you students for watching this lesson, and please do subscribe to our channel. Along with it, press the bell icon to get a new lessons whenever we are going to upload. Like our initiatives and comment in our comment section. We get to know that how our students are feeling regarding our lessons. Thank you once again.